Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, meteorologist Joe Ansel here. Got you an update on your forecast for your Tuesday. It's a high-pressure day, dry, stable environment. Most of us very likely dry if any isolated shower manages to develop. Little to no rain accumulation is expected today, and also tomorrow the main hazard will be areas of fog. Be mindful of low visibility. That may impact your morning drive again tomorrow. Flies through your forecast. It starts at home. Cities like Orlando, Tampa, Atlanta heating up in the 90s today. Charlotte 89 and sunny. Washington, D.C. 86. New York City, chance of a shower and storm, high near 81. From Panhandle to Panhandle, mid-70s to near 80 today. Mix of sun and clouds, but we'll see some sunglasses, sunscreen, sunshine. Be mindful of those low clouds and fog. Lower visibility possible again for that morning drive, waking up in the 50s. Eastern Panhandle, low to mid-80s today. In the ranks of the 70s in the higher elevations, very likely dry tonight. Some areas of patchy, dense fog across our northern areas. More 70s and 80s to go around. Parkersburg, sunny. Highs near the Big 80 at 80 degrees today, low near 57 tonight. Got some of those fog icons in there again for your morning drive into Wednesday. And across our southern areas, more 70s and 80s here as well. Bluefield near 78, Williamson 84, about the same in Huntington near 84. Lows in the mid-50s to near 60, and some of that's River Valley fog. We'll keep eyes on, rather potential dense for us tomorrow morning. 83 in Charleston today with mostly sunny skies. Second half of the week, we will have some increasing chances of rain. Slight chances on Thursday, chance of showers on Thursday night. Southeastern areas of the state, another chance of a shower and storm on Friday. And then dry for the weekend, likely dry Saturday in Charleston, high near 87. 87, mostly sunny on Sunday and potentially heating up near 90 and a low near 70 on Monday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour, but as you probably heard by now, breaking news. Country music icon Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Tales coming up. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It's a Tuesday afternoon. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're going to go to Andrew Donaldson, our good friend, here in just a couple of moments. But just about the time we close out the last hour, we got the news. Country music legend Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. And a little bit later on the show, we're going to be joined by somebody here in the Charleston area who had the pleasure of being a limo driver for Dolly Parton when she came to Charleston for an event a couple of years ago. And so we're going to tell you that story coming up. Plus, we'll check in with Andrew Donaldson. Ryan, if we're ready, this was the announcement made by a member of Dolly Parton's family.
Hey, everyone. My name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation, and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believe that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
That comment in that video released of just about 10-15 minutes ago, that from her nephew. Again, country music icon Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Let me bring in our good friend of Andrew Donaldson, Andrew, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I think he has it backwards. I'm pretty sure God blessed us with Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
When you think about the totality of her career, and everybody knows the entertainment aspects, but her legendary music stuff, the Imagination Library, where if you contacted her organization, any kid in America could get books until they were 5 years old for free in the mail. God knows how many millions of kids got those books, and that was all out of her pocket. And all the music, all the stuff, the drama, the way that she was always in on the joke of herself, never took herself too seriously, which gets more and more refreshing as we go in the social media age. There just ain't a lot of people like that. Yeah, man, I literally found out when Ryan told me as I logged into this, because I've been bouncing between media things. I hadn't seen it yet, but what a loss for our country, our society, and kind of just a unique piece of Americana.
Yeah, and again, about 10 minutes or so ago, from now, I should say, we're going to talk to a gentleman by the name of Tim Morris. He owns Chandler Limousine Service here in Charleston, and Tim had the pleasure of escorting Miss Dolly around Charleston when she came to an event a few years ago, and I have told everybody the story about what Tim told me about Dolly Parton and what a genuine, down-to-earth person that she was. And Tim tells the story a lot better than I do, so I'm going to unfortunately have to cut you just a little bit short, but I will bring you back tomorrow because I got a lot of things I want to talk to you about. But as somebody who grew up, Andrew, as you did here in West Virginia, I mean, our country music superstars, at least they were in my household. I don't know if this is the same way with you. And I grew up with all kinds of different music. They were put in my house growing up. Country music and gospel music singers were put on a different pedestal. You know, they were put up to and looked up at a higher level. And I'm old enough to remember Dolly Parton on the Porter Wagner show and her hawking Breeze detergent. You probably don't remember that, but I do. And then, of course, that followed up with all those different hits she had over the years. I mean, so many hits. And the thing about Dolly and Loretta Lynn were both true trailblazers in the world of music. And what I mean by that, there were a bunch of country music superstars, female, from Patsy Cline, and you just go on down the list. Dolly wrote her own stuff. She recorded her own stuff. She produced her own stuff. She owned her own stuff. Much like, and people have heard me say this before, much like Taylor Swift. And a lot of people, I know Taylor can be a polarizing character, but I have a great deal of respect for her because she followed the Dolly Parton plan. And I'll just go ahead and say it. If it weren't for Dolly Parton, there would not be a Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Porter Wagner because, you know, I Will Always Love You, which was a huge hit for her, and then Whitney Houston, and until recently was the biggest single, one of the biggest singles of all time. That was written about Porter Wagner. When, you know, I'm old enough to remember Hee Haw. I'm old enough to remember when it was Silver Dollar City, not Dollywood. Those country music legends were also some of the real TV stars in the 70s and 80s, especially. And you think about Hee Haw and the Porter Wagner show, and Johnny Cash had a variety show for years and years and years. They were more than just musicians. So when people really started getting TV, they were all over their TV. Country music legends, especially, we joked growing up, we had both kind of radio, country and Western.
Line from the Blues Brothers. That's a line from the Blues Brothers.
But it was true for a while extent. Everybody just listened to country music. And then the other thing about Dolly Parton is people don't realize how much music she wrote, how much other musicians she helped. She did a lot of gospel music, obviously. And then just think about the Dollywood piece. Any other woman entrepreneur that just did the Dollywood thing by itself would be a legend. That was one of her side hustles.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she did all this charity work. She did Dollywood. When the destruction, the natural disasters hit Pigeon Forge and Seaver, Tennessee, and the places where she was legitimately from and lived most of her life in a large part, she pumped millions of dollars back into that community. She never forgot who she was. So she could be in on all the jokes about the big hair and the big everything else and rhinestones.
Thanks for
because-
doing it that way, Andrew. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm a radio professional. I know how to do it. But she could be in on the joke on it because she never forgot who she really was, and she never separated herself from who she really was. So even though she was one of the most flamboyant characters of our lifetime, she was always one of the most real at the same time. And that's something you're not going to see a lot of ever again, I don't
She
think.
was one of the most real characters, and this is not me speaking ill of her because she would have said the same thing. She was one of the most real individuals at the same time, maybe not dressing like it all the time. And I mean that in the best possible way because she made fun of herself. It was Dolly Parton that said it cost a lot of money to look this trashy. And that was her words. And I love that about her, that she didn't take herself too seriously. She just had fun, and it's something I think we could use a whole lot more of. She was not political in the least, which I give her a heck of a lot of credit for. She could have endorsed this side or that side or whatever. She didn't. She stayed out of it. She was just a huge success. And what you're going to hear when I talk to Tim a little bit later on, genuinely viewed as being just a dang good person.
Yeah, you don't find anybody that says anything bad about Dolly. You have groups of people who politically or culturally will not get along, and they both like Dolly. And again, this is the way our society trends and social media trends. She's one of those few people. When you look at, I was just scrolling my social media a minute ago, it's going to be universal. People talking about, I'm legitimately crying right now. This one really hurts. I can't believe she's gone. That speaks to how much she touched everybody. And the thing about her is the goodness and all the good parts of her translated through the years. So whether it was the Porter Wagner variety shows of the 70s or the MTV generation of the 80s and 90s or she figured out social media.
She
was
did.
great at it.
She was
because
awesome
she
at
was
it.
so good.
She really was.
She was so timeless because she was real, and the goodness of her is what's shown through all that. So even though she's joking about, I paint my barn because it needs painted, and if it needs lifted, we're going to go get it lifted, and if it needs pushed up, it's going to get pushed up, and she wore heels because it made her feel special. She jokes about all that because her innate goodness was, I get to do all this good stuff, and this is just part of the gig, and we're all going to smile and laugh and have a good time of it.
Yeah.
And that's, I just thank God for it, because can you imagine having life without Dolly Parton? That'd be pretty bleak.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew, I appreciate you joining us. And again, this we just kind of had to pivot here with this news of Dolly Parton passing. But I knew you'd step up to the plate and be able to talk about just about anything, including you're a West Virginia boy at heart. So you know your Dolly. Can we do this? Can we bring you back tomorrow at the same time I should say? Does your schedule allow? And you don't have to let me know now, but if your schedule allows, I'd like to have you back on during the 2:00 hour tomorrow to continue what I had you on to talk about.
No, we'll cut the promo right now. I'll be here because West Virginia gets the priority. But yeah, no, this is the honor of what we get to do is when something like this happens, everybody's got the emotions. We get to actually talk about it. So prayers for her family, but we were very blessed to have her.
All right. Andrew Donaldson, I'll bring you back tomorrow at 2:00 hour. I appreciate
sir.
it, man. Thanks a lot. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Tim Morris, Chandler Limousine here in Charleston, going to join us. He had the opportunity to drive Miss Dolly around the capital city and some other regions in the last couple of years. He's going to join us when we come back again. Country music legend Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Back after this. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Giancava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn today at wvhtf.org.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show, 221. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour, 1-800-765-TALK, or you can text 304-TALK-304. And again, I appreciate Andrew Donaldson. I had him scheduled to talk about several things politically and in the news and so on and so forth. But then just prior to going to break at the end of last hour, we learned of the passing of Dolly Parton, who has died at the age of 80. She certainly will be remembered for so many different things. And one person, this is the first person I thought of, is my old buddy Tim Morris, who owns Chandler Limousine in Charleston, because he had an opportunity to actually chauffeur Miss Dolly around the capital city and other regions just in the last couple of years, and he joins us now. Tim, good afternoon, and welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us on short notice and on a sad day.
Hey, Dave, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's kind of shocking.
Talk about how you got to know Dolly Parton, because I've told everybody the story of the night that you spent with Dolly Parton, but explain to, I could have probably phrased that better, but let me explain, I'll let you explain the story of how you get to know Dolly Parton.
Well, I was just sitting at my desk one day, and a guy by the name of Jeff Conyers called, because this is Jeff Conyers, president of the Dolly Parton Foundation. He said, Dolly's come to Charleston, and we wanted to check on availability. And I said, well, I'm available. And he goes, well, I haven't given you the date yet. And I said, well, that doesn't matter if I'm not dead or in ICU. I'll be available.
And let me just say, Tim owns Chandler Limousine, so but go ahead.
Yeah, so he called and told me she was coming in. She came in because, her foundation that gives books to school children, anytime a state gets to the point that they have given a book away in every county, Dolly makes a visit, and that's what happened. And so they brought her in, and the president of Marshall interviewed her at the Clay Center. And she was just, it was, from the time he made the call till we dropped her back off the airport, it was still like living in a different world. She just is I will tell you this, she's legit 100% Dolly Parton, because she had been in Columbus that morning early, and then she came to Charleston, and she's up in years. And I kept thinking, I'm sure she'll be nice, but I'm sure she'll be tired. But that woman is Dolly Parton 24/7.
Take us from the time that you, because we want all the dirt, and there's no dirt to tell. We just want all the background stuff. Take us from the time that you actually picked her up, the conversations. Just take us through the whole day or in the whole evening.
Well, are you on the 7-second delay?
No, easy now.
She flew in on a private plane, and she said she really doesn't like to fly, but because of the time frame. And so we picked her up out on the tarmac, and we had 2 vehicles. I had her in mine and another person, and then a friend of mine, John Fowler, driving the other vehicle. And she hopped off the airplane. She walked straight up to me and gives me a big bear hug like she was my mother. And, it's kind of misleading, because I swear it's like she's 5 foot tall, and her ankle's about 3 inches around in those stilettos. And she's sitting there hugging me. I'm looking down at her, and of course, you can't help but looking at Dolly Parton's cleavage. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm actually, I'm sitting there looking at Dolly Parton's cleavage. But she was such a wonderful human being. And we got in the car. It was in a Lincoln Navigator, and got down to the bottom of the hill where the stop sign is at the private airport terminal. And there was a young couple, probably in their 30s, standing there, and they had a cardboard sign that said, "We love you, Dolly." And she rolled the window down, stuck her hand out, and her head of security was sitting up front with me. And he looks at me, he goes, "Roll that window up and punch it." And so I did, and she stuck her finger around that seat in his face, and she goes, "That's my family, damn it." But she was just, when we got to the Clay Center, we actually went into Embassy Suites first, and she went in, and she was just so sweet to people, and went to the Clay Center. And the thing that I remember noticing was they had, long meet and greet line, and we're standing back there with her, and there's a huge line of people to meet her. And I look out in the line, and there's Joe and Gail Manchin in line. Governor Justice was in line. I'm thinking, you might be the governor, but when you're in front of Dolly Parton, you're
just another dude.
Yeah. But she did wonderful. They interviewed her, and she had on a green sequin blouse, and the president of Marshall made a comment about it. And I was standing next to the president of the foundation, and I said, "Did you all plan that?" And he said, "No." He said, "Some way things just work magically with Dolly." And that, I can tell you, in the amount of time I spent with her, I think God wrapped an aura around her that made her special.
And she flirted with you a little bit too, didn't she, Tim?
Yeah, she made a comment. We're in the car. When I told her, I said, "Miss Parton," I said, "I have to tell you something." I said, "If you never sang another song, you are really what this country needs." And she said, "Oh, I don't know about that." I said, "No, you're iconic. There'll never be another Dolly Parton." And she said, "Well," she goes, "that's just because I've outlived everybody." And I said, "Well, but seriously," I said, "you know how to heal people and bring people together." And I said, "I got to tell you, when I was in college, I dated a girl, and our pet names for each other was Ed Earl and Miss Mona from Bethel Whorehouse." And she pointed to my gray hair, and she goes, "Well, honey, right now it'd just be Kenny and Dolly." And I thought I even get slammed by Dolly Parton.
You got to tell the listeners, Tim, the story about, I think, was it the fruit salad? She had a neighbor that passed.
Oh yeah.
To tell this, we got about 2 minutes. Go ahead.
On the way back to the airport, she got a telephone call, and she answered it, and she said, "Well, I'm in Charleston now. I was in Columbus this morning." And she said, "What time's the funeral?" And then she goes, "Well, what time's the visitation?" And then she goes, "Well, I'll get home too late tonight." She goes, "But I'll get up early in the morning and go out and get a fruit tray and bring over." And that will forever stick with me, because that woman has probably 300 people she could make go to Kroger.
Yeah.
But she would do it herself. I mean, I'll tell anybody, if they're a fan of Dolly Parton, you always hear she said she always looked like Dolly Parton. Well, that woman's heart was Dolly Parton. I mean, it was. Matter of fact, I got a picture. I'll probably post on Facebook. I got a picture with her in my car, and I hated to do that. And I said, "But nobody would believe you're in my car without a picture." And I told her head of security later, I said, "I hated to do that, but it's Dolly Parton." He said, "Man, don't worry about it." He said, "I've worked for her for 15 years." And he said, "I still wake up in the middle of the night and think, holy shit, I work for Dolly Parton."
All right, Tim, I appreciate you being on the show with us today and sharing your memories. I appreciate it. You still there with us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you there. Okay.
Yeah. No, she was. She was legit. This is a serious loss for the country.
Yeah, it is indeed. Well, Tim Morris, I've told everybody that fruit story, so I appreciate you adding to it, man. I do appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you calling, Dave.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Tim Morris, again, Chandler Limousine here in Charleston, and he told me that story, a couple years ago when he actually drove her around, and I just could not let that pass without getting him on the air. So, Tim, appreciate it very much. Dolly Parton, country music icon, dead at the age of 80. We'll do Open Line West Virginia. If somebody would like to add to the memories of Dolly Parton, you can text me 304-TALK-304. You can call me at 1-800-765-TALK. 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. You're listening to Metro News Midday. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Hey, meteorologist Joe Ansel here. Got you an update on your forecast for your Tuesday. It's a high-pressure day, dry, stable environment. Most of us very likely dry if any isolated shower manages to develop. Little to no rain accumulation is expected today, and also tomorrow the main hazard will be areas of fog. Be mindful of low visibility. That may impact your morning drive again tomorrow. Flies through your forecast. It starts at home. Cities like Orlando, Tampa, Atlanta heating up in the 90s today. Charlotte 89 and sunny. Washington, D.C. 86. New York City, chance of a shower and storm, high near 81. From Panhandle to Panhandle, mid-70s to near 80 today. Mix of sun and clouds, but we'll see some sunglasses, sunscreen, sunshine. Be mindful of those low clouds and fog. Lower visibility possible again for that morning drive, waking up in the 50s. Eastern Panhandle, low to mid-80s today. In the ranks of the 70s in the higher elevations, very likely dry tonight. Some areas of patchy, dense fog across our northern areas. More 70s and 80s to go around. Parkersburg, sunny. Highs near the Big 80 at 80 degrees today, low near 57 tonight. Got some of those fog icons in there again for your morning drive into Wednesday. And across our southern areas, more 70s and 80s here as well. Bluefield near 78, Williamson 84, about the same in Huntington near 84. Lows in the mid-50s to near 60, and some of that's River Valley fog. We'll keep eyes on, rather potential dense for us tomorrow morning. 83 in Charleston today with mostly sunny skies. Second half of the week, we will have some increasing chances of rain. Slight chances on Thursday, chance of showers on Thursday night. Southeastern areas of the state, another chance of a shower and storm on Friday. And then dry for the weekend, likely dry Saturday in Charleston, high near 87. 87, mostly sunny on Sunday and potentially heating up near 90 and a low near 70 on Monday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
On the next State of Minds.
I was in liver failure, and I was told I needed to quit drinking or I was going to die, and that was at 36. When he invited me to church, all the hair on my arms, my chest, my back, it all stood up. You're taught to love, you're taught to forgive, and there's a reason for that. It lets you be healthy and lets you move forward with a vision for your life that's not defined by what happened to you.
This week on the Metro News Television Game of the Week powered by GoMart, the Grafton Bearcats travel to Philip Barber for the Week 1 matchup. Join us Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. for complete live coverage from George Breyer Field. Watch live on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook. Bearcats versus Colts. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. The Metro News Television Game of the Week, powered by GoMart.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. More on the death of Dolly Parton. You know, you think about this. Now, Dolly Parton first exploded onto the scene in the 1960s. Of course, you know the story on the Porter Wagner show, and then went out on her own and had a bunch of hits of the 1970s, continued into the 80s, got into the acting thing. You think about some of the movies, 9 to 5 and Rhinestone, and there are just so many other movies and television appearances and so on and so forth. You can name on one hand, or maybe two, maybe one and a half, the number of people in the world of music particularly that have been in the public eye for more than a decade. Now, think about that for a moment. I'm kind of a geek about this stuff, but you think about somebody that now, she hadn't had a hit record in years, okay? I mean, let's be fair. She had not had a hit record in years, but that's okay. She still sold out everywhere she went. She still did television, movie appearances. As Andrew said, she was one that really, really grasped the internet and social media, I should say, not the internet, but social media from day one. But talk about when you think about the people that were in the public eye for all those years at the top of their game, there's not that many. And Dolly was one. And reinventing herself, you know, from commercials that she did. Remember the halftime show that she did, what was it, Thanksgiving, I think, a couple of years ago? I mean, she's right out there on stage at her age, and wow. I mean, as they say, there will never be another one. Then you think about the duets, you know, Islands in the Stream, and I'm just looking at all the different songs. Two Doors Down, of course, the iconic Jolene, and Coat of Many Colors, which was based on a true story. It was unheard of in the world of music at that time for, number one, when you turned your radio on country music radio of the 1960s and 70s, you didn't hear a lot of women. It got a little bit better in the 70s, but you certainly didn't hear a lot of women that were writing and producing their own songs. There, I can tell you, I'll stop. There were two. Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn, and that was pretty much it. Now, you can give a little shout-out to Wanda Jackson, but Wanda Jackson was never the big star on mainstream that Dolly and Loretta were. And just to keep doing the music, and she did the Trios album, which won Grammys with Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt, and just doing, you know, outrageous things, but in a positive way. And to my knowledge, never the least bit of controversy. And she never felt the need to get into politics. She never felt the need to really get behind anything major because she knew her brand. And so you're going to be hearing a whole lot about Dolly Parton, the icon Dolly Parton, over the next, for the foreseeable future, because we knew she had been sick, and we played the audio from her nephew and also her director of security that actually Dolly requested years ago that he be the one to make the announcement. That's what we played for you on social media. But Dolly Parton, again, dead at the age of 80. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK-304. Promotional consideration for the show, paid for by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Tailor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Come check out Tony's new looks for fall, including the WVU and Marshall wear as well. Check out BestmasterTailor.com. Text says, R.I.P. Dolly Parton. Dave, you are right. There will never be another one. Text says, Dolly is one of those people that will live in people's memory forever. I can remember listening to her with my grandmother back in the early 1990s. R.I.P. Dolly Parton. Indeed. Of course, it's not all going to be about Dolly Parton. You know that. Text says, do all the Daves like to polish the boots on their necks? Northern Dave seems downright thirsty. Dave, big shout out Dave Wilson there for the commentary that he did today. Dave and I actually get along really well. We just kind of started this thing years ago that we had a feud, and, you know, too many years of wrestling, I guess, on my part, but we just kind of ran with it. But his commentary today was really good. If you haven't read it, I'd urge you to go to the website, wvmetronews.com, and check it out. And basically what he was saying in all this battle over the flock cameras, outrageous antics are not going to win you anybody. Going to the table with real questions, real concerns, maybe real data will do it. Getting thrown out of a meeting, as someone did in Mon County, and refusing to adhere to the rules of said meeting, not going to win a lot of people over to your side. And I don't really I appreciate the text, but polish the boots. I don't really think that's what either one of the Daves in this company does. We just happen to have respect for the way things are supposed to be done. 21 minutes away from 3. Text says, I'm a Trump supporter, or at least was, until halfway through this term. He is unhinged. I agree, says a texter, with Northern Dave Wilson. When you act like an idiot in public, like a lot of these anti-flock people have, you aren't taken seriously, no matter how good your intentions may be. And I agree with that text, thank you, because that's what happens is that becomes the story. The antics, the shenanigans, that becomes the story, not what you were there to talk about to begin with. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK-304. Text, 2 dead in Pennsylvania from measles, a direct result of MAGA GOP anti-health policies. But, some Dems have blue hair and want health care for all just in case you need to both sides it like you do everything else. Text, now we're picking a fight against Canada? My God, this administration is stupid, says a texter. Oh, Canada. No, I'm not going to break into the song. I promise. Text, hold on one second here. Lost my train of thought here. Can you believe Trump's trade war distraction? Wait until Canada quits selling its potassium fertilizer to the U.S. Guess who buys the most Canadian potassium fertilizer? Guess what's essential to large-scale American agriculture? I hope European countries, Canada, and anyone else unites and levies economic sanctions against the United States. The U.S. doesn't have carte blanche to act like blanks. Can't say that word on the radio. Sorry. I will never understand our state, says a texter. The people, Republicans and Democrats, have both said they don't want flock cameras. Listen to the people, says a texter. To honor the troops, says the texter, Trump and his sycophants are trying to collapse the global economy. They're trying to devalue the dollar and remove it as world reserve currency. Why would they do that? To impose their cryptocurrency as currency for the new world order. Instead of God bless America, it's God bless crypto. Congratulations to Bill Vest, new Fayette County delegate. Yeah, we have that story posted at WVMetroNews.com. He was named by the governor to take over the seat of Delegate Elliott Pritt. I don't know Mr. Vest personally, but I understand he's a longtime public servant. Text, send an image. Okay, I'll try to take a look at that during the break. Text, don't use the USPS mail to send your voting ballots in. Send them by FedEx or UPS. Don't trust Trump and the feds. They're trying to keep you from voting. 242 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. Reminder that tomorrow is Wednesday, and that is the day that we honor another wonderful West Virginian, somebody doing great things in his or her community. Drop us an email, midday@WVMetroNews.com. It's midday@WVMetroNews.com. Somebody doing great things in their community, somebody in the recovery community, somebody working with animals or veterans or youth sports, flood recovery, seeing way too much of that. They're doing good things. We want to know about it. Drop us an email, midday@WVMetroNews.com, or reach out to me on social media. It's Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or @DaveA70 on X. We'll take a break. More Open Line West Virginia when we come back. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Of course, the LVAD was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Style should feel as good as it looks. That's why Tony the Tailor is proud to feature Johnny O, the perfect blend of classic style and laid-back comfort. Whether you're at the tailgate, on the golf course, at the office, or out for the weekend, Johnny O delivers effortless style for every occasion. Discover the latest Johnny O collection today and our new selections of WVU and Marshall logoed apparel at Tony the Tailor, downtown Charleston, or online at bestmastertailor.com.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show. 14 away from 3 on a Tuesday afternoon. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304 Talk 304. Of course, the whole world is mourning the death of Dolly Parton. It was announced about an hour or so ago that she has passed away at the age of 80. Got any memories, recollections, favorite songs, whatever you want to do on Dolly Parton, you can text them in 304 Talk 304 or call me at 1-800-765-TALK. Get back to the text line. Text says, Dolly just passed away. Pray that Trump keeps his big mouth shut and doesn't criticize her like he has others. I don't know of anybody who's going to criticize Dolly Parton. I don't know. Text says, Dolly did what most people that made it that big didn't do. She gave back to her community, her state, and her country. Indeed, she did. Yeah, somebody sent me some information. Dolly reached #1 on the Billboard Christian charts with her duet, There Was Jesus, alongside Christian artist Zach Williams. Appreciate the info. Text says, to everybody in Putnam County, we need you to be at the courthouse tonight at 5 o'clock for the meeting. Can't keep letting the government push us around. There is a meeting tonight, Putnam County Commission. I'm not sure if that's about data centers or flock cameras, or maybe both. Show up at the meeting tonight, I guess, and find out. Text. Think the flock cameras are bad. Wait till you get a load of the Rock Watch cameras tracking kids' faces in 50-plus West Virginia schools. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Governor Morrissey has issued a statement on the passing of Dolly Parton. Okay, appreciate it. Text, She was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Text first Shelley Fabre, now Dolly. Lord, I do not even want to know who number 3 will be. That's what they say is celebrities pass in threes. Text, there's another Dolly collaboration people forgot about. It was Dolly, Tammy Wynette, and Loretta Lynn as a small trio called the Honky Tonk Angels. They recorded Chet Atkins' Silver Threads and Golden Needles back in 1993. Says the texter. I appreciate that. I'd forgotten about that. Text to the person yesterday complaining about the litter and garbage in southern West Virginia. It's always been that way. Text met Dolly Parton in the summer of 1968. Porter Wagner's tour bus driver lived across the street. She went out of her way to talk with this 12-year-old boy when she could have ignored me like Mr. Wagner did. Has always been a class act and will always be missed. That's why I wanted to have Tim Morris Chandler Limousine on, who had a chance to drive her a couple of years ago. And Tim told that story just blew me away. You know, this is Dolly Parton. And apparently somebody in her circle of friends, neighbor, whatever, passed away. And she got the call while she's in the limo with Tim and says that it's too late now, but I'll go pick up a fruit plate tomorrow. This is Dolly Parton. She's concerned about this. Text says, you people against the flock cameras are the very first ones who will be begging for the footage if you're in an accident, your car gets stolen, or your house broken into. You wish you had those cameras. I have nothing to hide, so I'm not afraid, says the texter. Oh. Okay. I get the humor in this text, somebody, but I don't know. I'm not ready to go there. All right. It was a reference to the song Jolene. No, I get the humor, but no. Too soon, as they say. Texas Florida guy, Dave, if politicians are concerned with privacy by the use of flock cameras, then the same bucket mouths need to get rid of toll roads because they read your plate or by the device on your windshield. You're so windy, you could blow in a billy goat's butt and toot both horns. Says a text. Was that last part meant at me? I am. My grandmother used to say, because you got to understand, because you're probably thinking, what does windy mean? It's a southern West Virginia thing or an Appalachian thing, meaning talkative. My grandmother used to say that boy could blow up an onion sack. He's so windy he could blow up an onion sack. And look at me now. Text, I heard you talking about the painting the capital city green. What about an event for WVU? Well, we just had one in Charleston inside the huddle with Tony Caridi. Packed house. I was there benefiting the United Way. Text, we need less public schools and more charter schools and homeschooling if we want to save the students of West Virginia. Something I might even bring in weekly on a little bit later on. I don't know. He's from northern West Virginia. He probably doesn't know. I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you, when I walked into the building today, and actually this started yesterday with one of my coworkers. The subject of ham salad came up. And guess Club Random, that's me, obscure reference man. But when I went down to Logan this past weekend for Willie Akers services, there's a little place, and we featured them on the lunch spot, called Four Seasons. They are right across the bridge from Middleburg Island, and it's kind of they sell furniture, outdoor furniture, and a little deli in there, plants, the whole thing. And they make some of the best ham salad in the world. And I got some ham salad. I said a gallon. I did not get a gallon of ham salad. I got a pound of ham salad. Shared it, with some people, including our next door neighbors. And I was asking around the building yesterday, asking people, because we had a little spare, if they like ham salad. The number of people in WVRC media proper in Charleston who told me that they had never had ham salad. And I'm like, what? Including a couple people that were, we have people in this building that weren't necessarily raised in West Virginia. I get it, but I had never met an individual who ever told me that they didn't know about ham salad. I mean, it's like one of the basic food groups. Maybe it's because I grew up in a Free Will Baptist church. I don't know, but it's like, you've never heard of ham salad? You never tried ham salad? And it blew my mind. just blew my mind. What? 2:53. We'll wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. Text says, Dave, Florida guy here. I was referring to politicians being windy and not you. Appreciate that. Text says there are 2+ generations of parents who wouldn't dare name a girl Jolene because of Dolly. Good point. Good point. Text says this loss not just for the entertainment industry, but for the troubled world. It's just as strong as Elvis was 49 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who once sang "I Will Always Love You" to a box of ice cream sandwiches. Dave Weekly.
Kroger ice cream sandwiches.
I had to do something for Dolly.
That's good.
Had to change, the intro for you.
So, is Dolly's last album going to be that duet that she did with all those rock stars, superstars?
No.
Is that like her last album?
I
or?
don't know. I think people don't do albums anymore like they used to because somebody just, and I don't know what the time frame was. Apparently, she just had a #1 song in the Christian charts. As a duet with somebody. So,
Not aware.
So
Not aware.
Is it? Let me get off Dolly Parton here for a moment. Am I alone in this that I was totally shocked at the number of people in this building that don't know or like ham salad?
Being from West Virginia, I've seen my share of ham salad.
Okay. Yeah.
It's available. If you want to buy it, it's in every store. But I can believe
it's not in every store. I can tell you that because it's
well,
not
you're a
in every
store guy?
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm just saying it's not in every store. I can tell you.
Well, I've seen plenty of ham salad in my day.
Okay.
But
are you a fan?
Not especially. I like ham, but I'm not a mayonnaise fan.
Oh,
you know,
Dave, I thought I knew you, man.
I know we can't be friends.
Wow.
No, I'm just not a big mayonnaise person.
Oh, wow.
But I love ham. You know,
Well,
I am
not-
a man, so
Yeah, well, but ham is, normally the main #1 ingredient in ham salad
Yeah.
is bologna.
Yeah.
It's what's called combination salad.
But you'd see the ham salad. It's right next to the chicken salad.
Right.
You know. But I don't hold it against anybody who doesn't like ham salad.
I do.
You do?
Yes. They're godless communists. All right, what you got on the show? We
Well,
don't have time.
all right.
Hotline's coming up. I mean, you say Metro News Station. I'm going to go eat some ham salad.
Okay.
R.I.P. Dolly. Till next time, have fun and love somebody.